Okay, so I have a crazy who did I date story. Now, back in the days, if you are an 80s kid, you grew up through a bunch of different programs that were aimed at keeping you off the street, keeping you out of trouble, keeping you off of drugs, right? Like the DARE program in fourth grade, at least I know in the 90s, I had the DARE program. Shout out to the DARE program. DARE to keep kids off drugs. And then when I was in high school, the high school that I went to in New York City had a program for what they called at-risk youth, or youth that were just kind of like doing their own thing and getting in trouble and stuff like that, and just, I guess, trying to help them get themselves together. Now, because my grades were really, really good, and we're talking 1999, 2000, around that time frame, maybe even 2001. Way before that, though. Okay, keep in mind, this is about 1999, this story. I am in high school. I have good grades, so I don't really qualify for this at-risk youth program. But I cut class a lot. I hang out with my friends. A lot of my friends are not honor roll kids. A lot of them were gang members. A lot of them were affiliated with different gangs, or affiliated with just not the best behavior, not the behavior that I know my parents would want me to hang out with. But whatever, that's neither here nor there. They're awesome people, and most of us are still friends today, and they are awesome individuals. Anyway, moving forward. So during that school year, I think I was a freshman in high school. And at that time, I was running around, in the building. I was going to a school that was so huge. I had been going to school previous to that in a small suburb upstate, where, like, I don't think there was more than like 40 or 50 kids in my entire, like, graduating type class, like in the entire grade I was in. I don't think there was many kids. So moving to a school where there was literally 3,000, 4,000 kids in the building at any given period of time was crazy. Not only that, the lack of supervision, like, was crazy. So we were able to do just about anything that we wanted, and I took advantage of that because I wasn't used to it, and we had a lot of fun. And if you know about growing up in the 90s and the 2000s, and you know that high school in New York City was different then. Now it's just a hot mess. We thought it was bad then, but it's really wasn't in comparison to what's happening now. Anyway, so one of the guidance counselors who gravitated towards me, I guess because she knew that I was, like, really smart and I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do, she used to always pull me in from the hallway and pull me into her classroom, or into her office, because she had like an office slash classroom. So she would always pull me into her classroom, and she'd be like, come and hang out in here, so security doesn't bother you, so you don't get in trouble, so you don't get letters going home, right? So cool. She would take me into the classroom. I would hang out with her. Or a lot of times she wouldn't even be in the room. She would just leave, and just leave us hanging out in there. But because we were in there, nobody bothered us. It always seemed like we were on some type of official business, right? So I remember she had a trip coming up, a scared straight trip coming up, because the group of kids that they had put together for this program called Second Chance was going to the Scared Straight program. And she was like, why don't you just grab a permission slip, get your parents to sign it, and go on this trip? Because if you go on this trip, you'll have a free day for school, you'll get to go on the Hudson River, you go on the train, you'll be able to go and see, like, Westchester County, and blah, 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 blah. Mind you, I was invited 2 separate times on these trips. I went to one at Bedford Hills Correctional Facility, and then I went to another at Sing Sing Correctional Facility, both in Westchester County, both maximum security prisons aimed at the Scared Straight program, right? Anyway, so I'm like, oh, I want to go. Because at that time, I think they had shown it like once or twice on TV, and it seemed scary. But I was like, I want to go. I want to go. I want to go. And my friends, of course, were going to go. So I was like, why not go? Well, my father was not with it, and he was not about to sign the permission slip. So the day of the trip, I signed the permission slip, and I go anyway. I get on the train. I have my little bit of money, whatever. I get on and I go. And guidance counselor didn't even look at me twice. She just signed, grabbed the signed permission slip. Sorry, I interrupted real quick. But anyway, so she grabs the permission slip, and she's like, all right, well, go ahead, go. So I just blend in with the crowd, everybody, we just head out. It was a dope day. The program was dope. I will say we had a good time. And it sounds weird, right? You're going to have a good time in prison. But, like, as an adult, like, it was a good program. But, again, there was a lack of supervision that was very, very naive. And during one of the programs that I went to, the inmates were brought out into, like, a common area, kind of kind of like a big classroom that was empty.